What is going on, guys? Welcome to Mark's Tech. So today I want to make a video showcasing exactly what I have on my Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. I get questions, comments, emails almost daily asking me what exactly I have installed, what my launcher is, how to use that launcher, especially from people who are moving from iPhone to Android. It's tough. It's tough if you don't know how to really utilize your brand new Samsung device. And by popular demand, I'm also going to go over which application to use for wallpapers, because that's apparently a big deal for some people. So let's get into it. So I guess first things first, we can get started by just simply going to the lock screen. The lock screen, as you guys can see, looks a little bit different than your standard stock Samsung Galaxy lock screen. I have these quick apps right here. These are the apps that I go to the most. So it makes sense for me to add them onto this little bar down here. Now to open them, you just swipe up, fingerprint, and it opens up directly to that application. So if I want to go to Twitter, I swipe up, fingerprint, and go straight into Twitter. Now the way you do that is you got to download an application from the Galaxy Store, not the Google Play Store, the Galaxy Store, and that application is called Good Lock. And that right there is what it looks like. Once you download Good Lock, you want to download Lockstar, and its section of words is create new lock style or lock screen style. Once you download it, there's a bunch of things you can do on here. So you can change the unlock type. So instead of swipe, you can unlock by only swiping up, swiping down, swiping left, and swiping right. But the best part is that you can actually edit what you already have. So for example, you can edit which type of clock you want to put on. And you can even move it around to wherever you want. So for example, if you have a wallpaper and that wallpaper covers up the clock and you don't really want that, you actually want to see the wallpaper, you can move the clock anywhere where the box is green pretty much, which you can't do it over here obviously because of the hole punch out, but right about there you can do that. You can click save and then your clock will be right there. So I'm going to go ahead and move mine back over here. And same thing with your notifications. Usually notifications are somewhere right here in the middle if it's a stock Samsung Galaxy. Again, that kind of messes around with the wallpaper. I don't like it, so I just simply put it down here with the rest of my apps. But let's say you don't even want to know the clock on your lock screen for some reason. You know, people are different, whatever, I ain't gonna judge. You go to click on item visibility, and you can actually hide the clock. So let's say you don't want the clock, you don't want the notification, you don't want nothing. So you just click on save, and then your lock screen is gonna look like this. So pretty basic, nice and simple. Now for the app shortcuts, all you gotta do is just click on it and it'll ask you which apps you want to be in your shortcuts. And you can have 5. So I mean, you can have up to 6. I have 5 out of 6 right now, just simply because that's all I really care about. Actually, in fact, I'm gonna go ahead and add the flashlight because that's pretty necessary sometimes. But as you can see, those are the apps that you're gonna have. You can actually rearrange them in the order that you want by just simply clicking and dragging. I like it where it's at, so I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna click apply. You'll see a brief little preview of how it's gonna look like. You just click on save, and ta-da, now you got the flashlight right there. So it's a very nice application. You can do really a lot of customizations just alone on the lock screen. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get this over with. The wallpaper with the whole cutout, with this one with Iron Man and the one on my lock screen, you wanna go into your Google Play Store. You wanna search for an application called WallPix, Note 10 Punch Hole 4K HD Wallpapers. Once you open that up, you're gonna see a boatload of wallpapers specifically for that whole cutout. This one's actually pretty cool. The only downside, I mean, it's not really a downside, but if you click on save, so if you want to save this particular image to your gallery, it's going to ask you to upgrade to Pro. You can do that, but it doesn't really require you to actually set the wallpaper. You can still set the wallpaper, lock screen or home screen, or both. So you don't actually have to buy the application Pro version to set it, but you do have to do that to download it. So right here, as you guys can see, I'm not using a stock launcher, or I should say One UI. I am using Nova Launcher just simply because I think Nova Launcher is it just fits my needs perfectly. Now this homepage is, as you guys can tell, is very nice and simple. But the one thing that's pretty cool about it that you guys don't notice is that there are a bunch of hidden folders that you guys don't even see, especially on this side and on this side. So for example, if I click on this camera application, what do you think is gonna happen? It's gonna go to camera. But if I click and drag up, it's actually opening up a folder that is within that camera application. Same thing for over here, except this time whenever I click on it, it doesn't actually open up the first application in the row, but it actually opens up the folder because I don't necessarily need to go straight into that every single time. But here on camera, of course, you want to go to it every single time if you want to take a quick picture. That's why I have it set like that. Now the way you do it is, this is with Nova Launcher Prime. I think it's $5 for a lifetime, so I think it's worth it. You click on edit. Here you can actually change the name of the application and the actual icon. So if you don't want that icon, you can choose from a ton of icons or even download your own. Like here I have LineBit. Now here's where you can change what it does whenever you swipe up. So as you guys can see, swipe up to open folder. If I click no on that and I click done, now anytime I click on it, it's actually gonna open up the folder, right? So now I don't have to swipe up to do anything. But since this is a camera and I want the camera to open up as quick as possible for any sort of photo opportunity, you just go to edit, swipe up onto folder to open up the folder. And then you have the action over here. So whenever you swipe up to open the folder, it's gonna open up the folder, but whenever you click on it, it's actually gonna open up the first item in the folder. So you wanna make sure that your camera is the first item in the folder, because whenever you do click on it or tap on it, it's always gonna open up to that first item in the folder. Same thing for over here, my banking application. It looks like one application. It does not look like a folder because I think the way folders look on iOS or Android is just pure ugly. It just looks very scrambled. I like the one icon much better. So if I click on it, there you go, it's a folder. Speaking of which, this toolbar for Google is also a Nova Launcher type of thing. So if I go to edit, there's a ton you can do. I mean, oh my God, you can have it looking like this, you can have it looking like this, I mean, you can do this for nice and simple looking. You can change the color. I chose red because it kind of matches the Iron Man. But let's say I want to do, I don't know, this one right here. So now my Google little line thing is purple or blue, whatever you want to call that. So there's tons. You can even change the logo style. As you guys can see, you can change the logo style. There's a ton you can do just alone for this little bar. So as you guys can see, I just changed this a little bit right here. Moving on to the second page, there's nothing really here that's really worth talking about really, except I do have a little shortcut for my Dropbox. This is where I actually upload the wallpapers. By the way, if you guys want awesome wallpapers that I upload weekly, you can find a Dropbox link in the description below. It's free, I don't charge for it. I just like sharing some cool wallpapers. I know a lot of people like this one right here and this one right here as well. So if you guys want those cool little wallpapers, I suggest you just click on the Dropbox link and download them, or just add it to your homepage as well. Now this right here is my gaming folder. As you guys can see, it does not look like a folder. Same thing with Netflix. I have Netflix and Prime Video, soon to be Disney Plus because I did get it. Now on this next page, there's a lot going on. This is my calendar, which I like to do like rough scenarios of when I'm gonna do what videos. I like to keep tabs on it without actually leaving my homepage. I can see it right here without ever doing anything. Up here, you do have the Google Drive. So I upload pretty much, if I do any kind of video that I need to transfer real quick, I'll upload it to my Google Drive. Here's my BitLink and then my Amazon affiliate program right there. This icon right here is to make invoices. So if a company wants me to do an advertisement for them, I send them an invoice using this application. And right here is just my files, which by the way, I think is amazing. I've used iPhone for 10 years. So having an actual file manager is just wow. I mean, it's amazing, honestly. I mean, for you guys that have been using Android for a while, this looks like nothing to you. You're probably like, Mark, this is so old. But trust me, for a person that's been using iPhone for so long, having a file manager is beautiful. And right here is a quick little widget of my Google Mail. So Again, this is kind of like my productivity side. Believe it or not, I actually spend more on here than I do anywhere else on my home screen. Just simply because it's just fantastic the way I have it set up. I'm not bashing on iPhone, but there's no way you can do this on iPhone. There's just no way. You would have to jump through a lot of apps and a lot of folders to do just this alone. So that's another reason why I like Android. Now this last page right here, I do have a reminders application that I installed. So it's pretty awesome. You can click on, for example, add a new task, call mom. And then it's gonna say, remind me. I can click on today if I wanted to. So today at, let's say 3 p.m., call mom, right? It's gonna automatically add it right there. And then once 3 p.m. comes up, it's gonna pop up in a little window over here telling you, hey, call mom. And it'll even give you a little hotkey that you can press from that notification to automatically call your mom. If you say message your mom, it's gonna give you a little hotkey that says message as well. So, and then once you're done with it, you just click it out. It's gonna kind of put a line through it. And then at the end of the day, if you wanna count up all the tasks you did, you can do that. Then you just click on X and it'll remove it. And this application is my Google Ads. This is my social bully, just so I can keep tabs on my channel's growth. And this is just a web page from Chrome. So that's kind of pretty much it that involves my home screen. Now I want to kind of touch base a little bit on Nova Launcher. So I have it set to 3-finger slide up to open up Nova Launcher settings. And then guys, I mean, there's a lot you can do here. I'm just gonna go quickly through it because this video is gonna end up being way too long. So for a home screen on Nova Launcher settings, you can do a custom grid. So right now it's set to 5:7. If I wanted to, I can be 5:8, 5:9, 5:10, 11, 12. And then this goes up to 12 as well, I think. But I think 5:7 is good enough for me. Now this is the icon layout. As you guys can tell, I did not have any text under my icons. It was nice and clean. If I want a text, I can click on it, have my text. I can even change the color of the text, which is, I mean, always amazing. So for example, if I want my text to be purple, I click on it and it changes to purple. But I don't even really care because I usually take it off anyway, just because I already know what application is what. But here I have my icon size set to 80. I mean, right here is where we're getting into the range of One UI. That's why I don't really like One UI. Yeah, you can make it a little bit smaller, but you can't make it as small as 80% or even 75 or 70%. I like it like this because you can actually see your wallpaper. And to be honest, I don't need my icons to be this big. I mean, I have a huge screen. I want to take advantage of it, but not by just making the icons bigger. Now here, you can actually set your page indicator. So if I wanted the lines, anytime I switch, you can see that little line hopping around right there. You can actually change the color of that line. You can change the way that line looks. So if I wanted dots, it would show me dots. I like to keep it off simply because, I don't know, I just don't need it. And right here, add new apps to home screen right after you download them. So once you go to your Google Play Store, you download an app, it's gonna automatically go to your home screen. I like that just in case I forget what I download and I don't remember. So if you click on look and feel, there's a lot you can do here. You can change your actual scroll speeds. You can change the animation speeds. You can change the icon style. So you can have the icon styles be whatever you like. You can do whatever kind of actual physical shape of your icons. A ton you can do. I mean, this application, Nova Launcher, or I should say this launcher, is just fantastic. Now this is app animation, so you can actually change the way apps look like whenever you go home or you click on them. So for example, if I click on slide to the left, anytime I open up an application, it's gonna open up by sliding to the left, and then whenever you click the home button, it's gonna kind of go back. So there's a ton you can do on there. Or if you don't want any of that, you can just click on system and it'll use the system default. And then you can also have a transparent notification bar. So if I click that off, as you guys can tell, you will still see, I mean, you don't see that whole cutout anymore. It kind of puts a little black bar around the status bar, or the notification bar, I should say. But if you turn it on, the entire bar goes transparent. But this is only for the home screen because I know different apps, they have different categories. Like this one right here isn't transparent, it's just white. And then over here you can have night mode. You can have it set to all zeros, and all zeros is a true night mode. So you can pretty much save as much battery as possible. You can also have it to be on a schedule. So if the sun goes down, it automatically goes into night mode. I like to keep it on 24/7 because night mode is, I like the way it looks in my opinion. Now in the gestures subsection, you can do different kind of things. So if I swipe up from the home screen, it's gonna take me to my app drawer. Swipe down is gonna get to my notifications. Double tap does nothing, but for example, let's go ahead and set double tap to do a assistant. So right now it's set to assistant. If I do a double tap, it's gonna open up the assistant. Or you can double tap to do even recent apps. So right now I actually have it set to screen lock. So if I double tap, it actually locks the screen. So guys, that was pretty much Nova Launcher. Another thing I kind of missed is that you can actually do a backup and restore. So for example, if you're getting a new phone next month and you want to download Nova Launcher, you just click on import settings. So you do a backup, it saves your current configuration, you download Nova Launcher on your next phone, import, and it'll actually import the same settings you have on this phone on your new phone. So that's also a big bonus of Nova Launcher. But yeah guys, that is pretty much it. That's my phone. It looks very simple, at least these two pages do. They look very simple. I like the way everything works. I have it set exactly to how I would like it, and I just can't, it's amazing what you can do with Android if you really take full advantage of it. So guys, if you have any more questions, feel free to let me know. This was Mark from Mark's Tech, and I hope you all have an amazing day. Adios.